And welcome to the Surreal Mist tutorial. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to take an ordinary photo with water, something that looks like this, and turn it into this. And I originally got the idea for this tutorial by looking at photographs with photos that were taken with slow shutters. Now, a lot of you have probably seen this type of effect done before, and it's been around for ages, where you set the camera up on a tripod and you adjust the options on the camera so it will take the shot and keep the shutter open for a long period of time, anywhere from 1 to 25 seconds, or it just depends on what type of camera you have. And so after you take the shot, sometimes you can end up with an image that looks something very similar to this. And I know we've all seen images like this, but I thought, well, how cool would that be if we had an image that did not, or where we did not have the shutter open for a long period of time, and we could actually go into Photoshop and create the same effect and create something that looks like this. Here is the same image right here. You can see these side by side. Look at the difference. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this tutorial. So let's go ahead and not mess around and get started. So first thing, inside the Adobe Bridge, browse to the Surreal Mist folder inside the Project Files folder on this DVD, and you'll find some of the images right here. What I'm going to do is start off with the ocean.psd file, which is right here. So I will go ahead and double click on this. And here we go, and I'll just make this just a little bit bigger here on the screen so we can see what we're doing. And this is a great photo. It's a great photograph of, we got a little shot of the coast, and off in the distance we have a little bit of sunset going on in the left corner there. It's a beautiful shot. But if you have a photo that you would like to tweak, and I thought this would be a great photo to add that mist effect that really is just the water that we're modifying, and well, I thought this would be the perfect photo to do this with. So first thing, what I'm going to do is just a couple image adjustments to this photo to get it just like I want it before I add the mist. And so I'm going to come up here to Image, Adjustments, and select Shadow and Highlight. And the reason I'm doing this is because you can see the original, you can see the rocks are very dark. Well, I want to go ahead and brighten up those rocks. Now, the rocks are the darkest areas of the image. So all we have to do is right here, on the shadow highlight, for the shadow setting, we can just turn up the amount of the shadow, and look at that. That will brighten those rocks. Now the highlights, you can probably tweak that a little bit too, and that's just going to darken. If you turn this up, that's going to darken the lighter areas of the image, and that's okay. I'll go ahead and just brighten this up, and I can come back to this later on if I want to. I'm going to turn this up somewhere around here, and I can adjust the highlights here a little bit, but I probably won't get too much into this right now. I'll go ahead and click OK. Now if I zoom into this image really closely, and here's another technique. If you do have an image that has a lot of grain, you can see that this has tons of grain all over the place. Well, what we can do is just come up here to Filter and down here to Noise, and I can select Reduce Noise. And look at that, right away you can see with the setting that I last had it set at, it's applied that, and we can see this is before and this is after. So look how much smoother that is. And this sort of gives it more of like a computer generated type of effect. If that's what you're looking for, I really like that look, but not on all my images. I like it much smoother than having it really grainy. So let's go ahead and add a little bit of strength there to the grain, or to the noise reduction here, and that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and click OK, and I'll wait for Photoshop to apply that. There we go. And I'll zoom out of the image, and let's take a look. Beautiful. All right. And also, I'm going to select just the bottom portion of this image by using the selection tool, just like this, and I'll try that one more time. And then what I'll do is Edit, Copy Merged, and then up here to Edit, and down here to Paste. Now, I will be working mostly on just the bottom portion of this image. So I'm just going to cut that out and place it on its own separate layer. So what I'm going to do here is call this, I'll just call it Water Blur, because we will be blurring a few things in this image here. And I'll just call this Ocean. for the original layer right here. And I'll click back on the water blur layer, and then I'll come up here to image adjustments because I want to remove some of the color in this layer. Something like this. There we go. Something that looks like that. That way we don't have any orange mist. It's mostly like a white kind of mist. And I can just go up here to image adjustments. Also increase the brightness and just enhance the bottom portion of this just a little bit more, because I really want those rocks to stand out. Now, every image is different. You may not have to do this with your image, so I'm just going to go through here and I'm not going to skip any steps. So you can watch exactly what I'm doing, and if you find that maybe you would like to do this to your image, go for it. But I'm just going to go ahead and just do a couple little adjustments here before I move on.